CitrusTV News live at 6. Find out what university is offering information regarding the death of a student.
And the fire that tore through an Oakland warehouse has left more than 30 people dead. We'll have more on how the cleanup is going coming up.
And set your alarms. The Orange take on Coppin State tomorrow morning, playing for a good cause. All that and more next on CitrusTV News live at 6.
From the CitrusTV studios, this is CitrusTV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to CitrusTV News live at 6. I'm Rob Romano. The Pat Tillman Foundation has named Syracuse University as a new partner for its scholarship. And
I'm Jamie Weiss. SU joins 14 other schools on the newly released list. That's our top story.
The new partnership with the Tillman Foundation is by invitation only. It guarantees one SU student veteran as a Tillman Scholar each year. The foundation was created in 2004 after Pat Tillman left his career in the NFL to serve in Afghanistan, where he later died. Marie Tillman, the president of the foundation, released this statement about partnering with SU. The staff, faculty, and students of Syracuse University are committed to the success of military, connected students, and their families. What a great new scholarship. The deadline for the SU Tillman Scholarship application is in February. If you're interested in applying, you should contact the Scholarship Advising Office. SU will also start offering another opportunity, this time a fellowship for English PhD candidates in honor of a former student. Joseph Hughes was working on his dissertation 4 years ago when he suddenly died at 32. Now his former dissertation advisor and his fellow students have created a memorial fellowship that funds PhD candidates for the summer. They say this is often the hardest time for candidates as they have to work through the summer to help support themselves. That's right, Rob. Information on how to give to the fund or how to apply is available by contacting the English department. And Onondaga Community College recently reopened their training restaurant this weekend. CitrusTV reporter James Groh shares how With Love Pakistan is operating after the first official days of business.
With Love Pakistan had its grand opening last Friday. It isn't a normal restaurant though, it's in a league of its own. Other than being the only Pakistani restaurant in Syracuse, it's also a classroom and an entrepreneurial center. The restaurant is operated by Onondaga Community College. It teaches its employees how to run the business side of a restaurant as well as manage a kitchen.
As long as somebody's offering up a national or regional cuisine that's not otherwise available and can do so with a lot of love and pride and wants to own a business, we want to have them here.
Program Director Adam Sadman said the restaurant's purpose is to give people who are inhibited from employment training in an in-demand field.
The idea being that we get folks who've been locked out of the workforce for one reason or another pertinent training for growth areas. And one growth area that our broader team identified was food service management, and a subset of that was line cook. Both of these areas are in demand in industry.
Sadman said that Syracuse's role in New York as a hub for refugees fueled the idea. Over 6,405 refugees from 38 different countries have come to Syracuse since 2001, according to a Department of State Bureau of Population report. The restaurant is funded by a federal grant that had a stipulation for innovation in the food industry. The current head of the restaurant is Sarah Robin, a refugee from Lahore, Pakistan. She's the one who decides what goes on the menu. Some of the items include halim, lamb chop, and butternut dal. With Love Pakistan will be serving Pakistani cuisine for 6 months. After that, it'll venture to another part of the world to serve their style of food. For CitrusTV, I'm James Groh.
Thanks, James. With Love Pakistan serves lunch from noon until 2 p.m. on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and dinner from 5 until 8 p.m. on Thursdays and Fridays. We'll definitely need to check that out. Thank you. In an announcement today, Governor Andrew Cuomo appointed a state-funded program for $6.7 million. AmeriCorps, an organization within the Empire State, is launching a poverty reduction initiative. Volunteers from the program will be assigned to 16 regions in the upstate area, including right here in Syracuse. Money will help fund the critical services such as healthcare, education, financial literacy, and skills development to those living in poverty within these regions.
And perpetrators of a violent attack inside a Utica church are now behind bars. Word of Life church member Tracy Irwin was sentenced to 2 years in prison on Monday. Irwin pled guilty to 2 counts of first-degree unlawful imprisonment this past November. 9 total people were charged with the beating of 19-year-old Lucas Leonard and his 17-year-old brother Christopher Leonard. Lucas passed away from injuries sustained in the attack.
And the president of Binghamton University announced an $11,000 reward for any information regarding the death of a student. A 20-year-old Binghamton student was killed in a hit-and-run accident over the weekend. Stephanie Leneva of Queens was found on Route 343 early Sunday morning. Binghamton police have asked that anyone with information regarding the accident to please reach out.
And a local project is dividing Common Councilors. The Syracuse Common Council announced last week the redevelopment of Symphony Tower, but not without controversy. The developer is currently facing almost $600,000 in tax penalties, and Common Councilors have delayed the decision to forgive these penalties. The tower is to be turned into an extended stay hotel going forward.
And the council also wants more kids to come to school, so they're asking the state to fund buses for kids who live more than a mile away. They unanimously approved asking the state to fund a $7 to $10 million pilot program, saying it can mean that 1,200 kids would no longer have to walk to school. The city council wants the state's help because they say walking puts students in danger and deters them from coming to class.
And coming up on Citrus TV News, the latest out of California. The FBI is responding to threats to an LA subway station.
And the United Kingdom is feeling the pressure to Brexit. We'll be right back.
And take a good look at this picture behind me because it won't be lasting that long. Now, we might have missed the 2 feet of snow that was dumped during Thanksgiving, but we aren't so lucky because we're going to get some more snow towards the end of this week. Stay tuned to see exactly how much snow and when it's coming. We'll be right back.
Look, it's those guys.
Are
you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go ahead and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Got a quarter?
Threats, especially around the holiday season, throughout the city, at the airport, sometimes in our subway system, etc. But we wanted to have an abundance of caution here today and reassure people that we will have the necessary forces around and near and in our public transportation system to assure passengers that today is a safe day to go around our business.
That was Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti addressing security at subway entrances earlier today.
The FBI received a tip passed along from a foreign government of threats towards the LA subway system.
The threat specifically targeted the Universal City Red Line metro station. Officials are calling the line safe.
And in other California news, the Oakland fire chief says the warehouse building that caught on fire this weekend is almost entirely cleared.
So far, police have identified 33 victims but haven't released all names. They say as many as 36 were killed.
The fire happened Friday night during an electronic dance party. Fire Chief Robert Lipp spoke this morning on the status of the warehouse.
At this time, we've been able to search through the building and clear approximately 85% of the building right now. We'll be continuing that throughout the day. There's one corner that remains unstable, and then that's another thing that we're going to be doing throughout the day today is stabilizing that corner so that we can search that last section.
And three Central Florida voters are filing a lawsuit to overturn election results in the state.
That's right. They say Hillary Clinton actually won and not Donald Trump. They want a hand recount of every paper ballot cast because they claim there were issues with electronic voting systems.
Like hacking and malfunctions. Even the lawyer for the voters, however, says that electors don't even have to respond to the lawsuit before casting their vote before the House on December 19th.
And in other political news, California's legislature is looking for a way to protect undocumented immigrants. Both chambers of the state's legislature now have Democratic majorities.
Exactly, Jamie, and they both passed resolutions asking Trump to abandon his promise about deporting thousands of illegal immigrants. They also introduced two bills to help protect immigrants.
The first would provide them with legal aid if they face deportation. The second sets up centers educating them on immigration law.
We're not losing hope. We're still trusting in God and believing, and we're still keeping the faith. And it's not over. And we're going to continue to seek justice, and we will see justice in this case.
That was Anthony Scott reacting to yesterday's mistrial in the case of a South Carolina police officer who shot and killed Walter Scott.
The judge announced a mistrial yesterday afternoon, saying jurors could not come to a unanimous decision.
Officer Michael Slager faced charges after cell phone video showed him shooting and killing Scott as he ran away. The case garnered national attention and flamed issues of racial bias by police.
Angela Merkel backed a burqa ban in schools, state buildings, and courts during her party meeting today.
She says she backs them anywhere legally possible, but that a total ban would violate the German Constitution.
Her approval ratings have slipped in the last year after she allowed 1 million asylum seekers into the country, and she'll face a tough re-election against the anti-immigration AfD party.
And the European Union's chief Brexit negotiator says Britain must act soon on Brexit so the other states in the EU have time to vote.
This is because the exit deal has to be done within a 2-year time frame. He spoke in Brussels earlier today explaining the situation.
All in all, there will be less than 18 months to negotiate. Once again, that is short. Should the UK notify the Council by the end of March 17, as Prime Minister Theresa May said she would, it is safe to say that negotiation could start a few weeks later and an Article 50 agreement be reached by October 18.
And lake effect snow is on its way, but when will it hit?
Well, Rob, I'm not sure, but our Citrus TV weather expert Nicole DeMentri is in studio tracking the potential winter storm. Nicole?
Yeah, Rob and Jamie, if you were outside today, which I'm sure you were going to class, it was in the mid-40s. You wouldn't expect any snow. I mean, the sun has set around 4:30. It's 41 degrees in Syracuse, 37 down in Cortland, and 39 in Ithaca. It's feeling like warmer temperatures, and as I said, you wouldn't expect snow coming, but you will be seeing some rain and clouds tonight. Now, the clouds are in right now, and they're not going to go out until around 11:30 tomorrow morning. So when you're walking to class, don't worry, it won't be snowing and or raining tomorrow morning, but it will be just a little cold and there won't be any sun. But back to tonight, we are going to see some sort of a snowy mix. So if you're outside driving conditions will be a little bad. You have to be cautious. It's going to be 35 degrees. As I mentioned, the sunset was at 4:30, and it's going to be slight winds, 5 to 10 miles per hour, nothing too major. Now moving into tomorrow morning, 42 again today. We were at 46 earlier this day. Tomorrow we're at 42. It's going to be a nice, beautiful day. We're going to see lots of clouds in the morning, as I mentioned, all the way up until 11, and then the sun's going to peek out all the way into tomorrow night. But it's going to be pretty windy tomorrow, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Now, as far as that lake effect snow chance, it's very high. We were just added, Onondaga, Lewis, Oneida, and Madison counties were just added about an hour or two ago to this lake effect snow watch. We're going to expect 1 to 3 feet. In Jefferson and Lewis County, you're going to see more towards 3 feet of snow. Here in Syracuse, you're going to see about 12 to 18 inches. Now you're going to see the heaviest snow Thursday night into Friday. Now it's not going to taper off Friday into Friday night, and it's just going to go, and you're going to see Times of snow squalls with low visibility and 25 to 30 mile per hour winds. Now going to that 5-day forecast, tomorrow, as I mentioned, it's 42 degrees. So you're gonna see it be pretty nice tomorrow, and then it's gonna taper down, especially as we look into the snow forecast Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It won't stop snowing.
All right, so speaking of snow and the fact that it won't stop snowing,
Yes.
Getting there later in the week, I mean, is it going to be a quick snowstorm, like it's going to really pick up really fast?
Well, it is lake effect snow, so you're going to see very heavy bands move in and out through Thursday night into Friday morning. You will see those periods of snow squall, which means there'll be complete whiteout conditions. You won't be able to see your hand literally this close to your face. So it's going to be pretty scary between Thursday night to Friday night.
Well, thank you so much, Nicole. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that weather.
Definitely.
And coming up on Citrus TV News, which popular company in Silicon Valley is going green?
And watch out, bacon lovers, why farmers are concerned about pig meat. Stay with us.
Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? It may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Don't think you know you know.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
And welcome back to Citrus TV News. Researchers at the University of Vienna have found that increasing the rate of C-sections is affecting evolution. They say more C-sections have had an effect on human evolution as more mothers with small pelvis sizes are able to give birth. Normally, the mother would die from failing to give birth in the form of natural selection, but thanks to modern medicine, this is no longer the case and could lead to a quicker rise in human population.
Turning over to the animal world, an extremely rare superbug gene is concerning pig farmers across the country. The gene gives bacteria the ability to resist a high-strength antibiotic and can be passed down through plasmids, making this gene contagious. No pigs scheduled for slaughter carry the gene, and researchers haven't found any threat to people. The researchers' main concern is how the gene got to the farms in the first place.
And Google is going green, saying the company will operate entirely off renewable energy by 2017. These energy sources include solar panels and wind farms, which Google acquired through large-scale deals with renewable producers. Google says it is the largest corporate purchaser of renewable energy worldwide.
And IKEA is extending paid parental leave to new parent employees. The company is following suit after companies like Netflix have also increased benefits. This extension, starting the 1st of January, allows U.S. employees up to 4 months of paid leave and includes mothers, fathers, adoptive, or foster parents. The president of IKEA's U.S. division says the goal of the extension is to improve relations with workers at a time where unemployment is at a 9-year low. And the nominations for the 59th edition of the Grammy Awards have been released. The biggest awards show in music will air on February 12th and will be hosted by James Corden. The artist with the most nominations was Beyoncé for her album Lemonade, which garnered her 9 nominations, while Drake and Rihanna both received 8. Last year's Mayfest headliners were also well represented, with Chance the Rapper earning 7 nominations, including Best New Artist, which he will have to fight for the Chainsmokers as they receive that nomination as well, and 2 other award nominations.
And pop star Lady Gaga announced that she is suffering from PTSD. The singer shared her mental illness when visiting the Ali Forney Homeless Center for LGBT youth late last month. Following her 2014 rape confession, Gaga visited the center to support children who have had similar experiences as her, singing them 2 songs off of her new album. The center's executive director, Carl Siciliano, says the gesture was, quote, extremely meaningful for all those who attended.
Coming up, Syracuse and UConn duked it out until the end last night at the Garden. Plus, a rare morning game for Syracuse women's basketball tomorrow, and the Red Sox have another ace. Stay tuned to Citrus TV.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Syracuse and UConn were locked into a tight battle throughout last night's contest. Hello there, I'm Kevin Ryans. SU and UConn met for the 93rd time last night. The venue was a familiar one for the two foes, Madison Square Garden. And that's where the 'Cuse and the Huskies faced off in that 6-overtime thriller 7 years ago. We started off early on, and there was a 3-pointer by Andrew White III, and Syracuse with an early lead. Coleman lays it in at halftime. This put Syracuse up 23-21. But then Rodney Purvis took over for UConn. Here's 2 3-pointers there. SU still holding on to a 44-38 lead. And then Kenton Facey with a nice rebound and a putback layup to put UConn with closer into the game. And then later on, Andrew White III ties the game at 50 with a 3-pointer. Tyus Battle cannot hit the actually fouled on the next possession, and then UConn closes it out there. Syracuse shoots 26% in the game, and then UConn wins 52-50. Moving on over to the women's side, SU women's basketball is home for the 3rd straight game tomorrow morning when it takes on Coppin State. The two teams meet for the 5th time ever Wednesday, and in the series, the Orange own a 4-0 record against the Eagles. In its last matchup with Central Connecticut State, Syracuse scored 90 points in a win, and that was the 3rd time this season the 'Cuse scored 90 in a game. And it also boosted its home record with head coach Quentin Hillsman to 82-4. Keeping it on the hardwood, the Knicks take their talents to South Beach tonight in a conference matchup with the Heat. New York fans haven't had too much to cheer about in the last decade, but the team seems to be on the rise. They have now an 11-9 record, including wins in its last 3 games. With the winning streak, New York sits just 1 game out of 3rd place early on in the Eastern Conference. Game time tonight is at 7:30 p.m. Meanwhile, on the ice, it's a battle with the NHL's youngest and brightest stars tonight when the Sabres face the Oilers. Edmonton center Connor McDavid takes his league-leading 34 points to First Niagara Center to take on Buffalo's Jack Eichel. It's the 2nd time the two young stars have gone head-to-head on the ice this season. Early on this campaign, the Sabres pounded the Oilers 6-2 on October 16th. And it's an in-city battle when the Rangers host the Islanders host the Rangers, at Barclays Center. It is a tough matchup for the Isles as the Blue Shirts sport a NHL high 95 goals this season. The Islanders have some momentum, though, as they have won 3 out of its last 4 games. This is the first meeting between the inner-city rivals since the Rangers took down the Islanders 5-3 on opening night. On the baseball diamond, it seems that the Boston general manager Dave Dombrowski wants to go for it all. The Red Sox have traded White Sox star lefty Chris Sale in a blockbuster. In exchange, Chicago takes baseball's 2 most prized prospects, 21-year-old Juan Moncada and 20-year-old right-hander Michael Kopech. Sale joins a starting rotation that is already loaded with lefties, including fellow lefty David Price, AL Cy Young Award winner Rick Porcello, and young lefty Eduardo Rodriguez. And finally, an update on the fatal shooting of former NFL player Joe McKnight, who died last Thursday after being shot in the back. Louisiana police announced today suspect Ronald Gasser is back in custody and has been charged with manslaughter. The 54-year-old Gasser was arrested and then released after police say they needed to investigate the situation further last Thursday. McKnight played 3 seasons for the New York Jets and 1 with the Kansas City Chiefs. Last night, the Jets had a moment of silence before their game in honor of the former running back. And guys, hopefully that is some good news for the Joe McKnight family. Hopefully some good news moving on into the future.
Definitely. Definitely left a legacy. Anyone who plays for a New York team like the Jets.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Well,
Kevin.
thank you so much, Kevin. And we'll be right back after this short break.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid. A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close. I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us. But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words. These are not my words. These are not my words.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. Nicole DeMentri, it's not going to snow tomorrow, but what should we wear in the morning?
You know, it's going to be around 39 degrees if you have that 9 a.m. class. It's going to move up to 42, but it's going to be really gusty, so definitely bring a coat and bring layers because it's going to be warmer outside, but the wind's going to make it a lot chillier.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nicole.
The childhood dream of visiting Santa in his toy shop became a reality for a special group of kids this week.
34 young cancer patients from Chicago took a flight to a magical destination, the North Pole. United Airlines flew the kids to a fantasy North Pole where they were greeted by Santa Claus, presidents, and comfort dogs.
Operation North Pole is an annual tradition held by the airline and Cal's Angels that gives patients the chance to have a day of fun and Christmas celebrations with their families. Now, Rob, I think this is pretty incredible.
Definitely. No, such a beautiful event for so many children in need. Definitely.
Definitely.
And, you know, that's all we have for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us once again.
And thank you for spending your Tuesday evenings with us all semester.
Absolutely. It's been such a privilege. Since this is our last show, we want to thank our talented cast and crew for all they have done for us this semester.
Especially our Nicole DeMentri, who's off to London next semester. And most importantly, our incredible executive producer, Megan Mystery. Thank you for all of your hard work that you've put onto this show.
Megan, it's been wonderful to work with you. And for the last time this semester, I'm Rob Romano.
And I'm Jamie Weiss. Have a great night, Syracuse.